Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to show you how I made my Cardi B inspired costume. If you're interested in how I made this, please keep watching and don't forget to like and subscribe. So for this project I used lots and lots of beads. I also thought I was going to use these peacock feathers, but I didn't, and you'll see why towards the end. I used E6000 glue. I have a few tools here and some needle and thread, some gems. Since Cardi is naked in the picture, I wanted to also mimic the picture. So I am using this jumpsuit that's kind of close to my skin tone. I ended up making this jumpsuit myself. I don't have it here in the video, but if you guys want to see how I made it, please leave a comment down below. So I drew this peacock on paper just to use as a template. And I'm just tracing it onto the jumpsuit so that I can use it as a guide to know exactly where I'm going to put my beads. I threaded the needle, made a knot at the end. And then I just picked up the beads with my fingers and inserted the needle in the little holes. And I started off by tracing the outline of the peacock with the beads. Once I finished the outline, I went ahead and I moved on with the details of the face and the body. And then I started just filling everything in, kind of like if I was coloring. I also wanted to say I didn't do this in any specific order. I just went along with what felt right and looked right for me. So here I added these really beautiful beads, but I hated the way I laid them, like I overlapped them. So I took them all off and redid them and sewed them in and made them look neater. And now I'm moving to the details on top of the head and adding some gems with the E6000 glue. And then I also thought it would be prettier if I glued gems all around the bodysuit. I glued the feathers. I think here on camera it looks kind of nice, but when I had it on it looked like a duster. Alright, so I ended up taking the feathers out because I hated the way it looked. So I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing I did up here. I'm going to do it down here all the way, going kind of like around the thigh. This is all the glue that's stuck on it, but I'm going to cover that with all the beads and stuff. So it'll end up looking really pretty anyway. So I started beading again, no particular order, just what I felt looked right. And then here I just took a pen and drew kind of a guide where I wanted the feathers to be. Since I was finally done with this, I moved on to the hat and gloves. For the hat I'm using metal hoops, wires, chains, and ribbon. I'm also going to use some glue, some E6000, and I have some tools here, some pliers. And now I'm going to wrap the ribbon around the wire. Here I have two that I've done already. So here I just dab some glue onto the metal, and then I just wrap the ribbon around the metal. If you guys want to know exactly what I used, I'm going to post it down in the description box below. So I just keep adding glue to the wire as I wrap the ribbon around it. If you can find gold hoops, go ahead and skip this step. I just did this because I didn't find any gold hoops. So I'm just cutting a few pieces of wire so that I can start making the brim of the hat. And then I just started wrapping it around the center hoop. Once I was done wrapping the wire to the center hoop, I wrapped the opposite end of the wire to the biggest hoop. Then I took a longer piece of wire and I just intertwined it with the rest of the wire just to make it sturdier. Now I'm going to take the smallest hoop and some wire and I'm going to start making the base for the top of the hat. Then I just took the chain and I wrapped it around the brim. And I secured it with some glue. And then I just wrapped the top with some ribbon and some chain. Then I connected the brim with the top by wrapping it with a chain. Then I measured where I wanted to cut the chain so I can make the fringe for the hat. And then I used a little piece of wire to connect the chain to the hat. And if you want, you can go all the way around with the fringe. I decided to leave it just like this. So I thought I was finished with it, but I didn't like the way it looked. So I decided to take some of this Ollie Fun fabric and just put it kind of like under the hat, just so it can cover the open areas. As you can see, I already did the top here. So all I did was folded the fabric in half and I just traced the brim around it. And then I just cut around the outline. And then you're going to take the wrong sides of the fabric and glue it together. And then I just glued it onto the bottom of the brim. Now I'm going to move on to the gloves. For the gloves, I'm going to use watches and some gems and chain. And I'm also going to use some glue. And then I also ordered these gloves online. And I stuffed it with some saran wrap so that the glue doesn't stick to the other side. And then here I just started gluing everything onto the gloves. I didn't do this in any specific order or anything like that. I just glued on as I went. And that's it. Once I finished this glove, I repeated the same thing in the other glove. Alright guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching and don't forget to like and subscribe. Bye guys.